What should everyone try at least once in their life? Serious. Go somewhere with no light pollution, on a clear night, and look at the stars. Edit. Thanks for the comments and doodads. I'm glad so many people have experienced this. Exploring different places around your neighborhood on your own. You never realize what you can find until you try. Then bring someone along with you next time and show them. I did this once as a teen. Just took my dog out for a walk to a part of the neighborhood I didn't usually go to. We found a little path behind the last street, which led to a cute creek, which led to an idyllic bend where there was a beautiful huge cottonwood tree and the grass so soft all around it. Ended up taking the dog there for picnics every weekend. Wow, what a spectacular find. Look someone dead in the eyes and say exactly what you think about them. See how it turns out. My wife and I were visiting a friend. He's a great guy, but he had this long, bad comb over. He walked down to the road for the mail, and we were discussing the comb over with his brother. As he walked up, I looked at him and said, "Dude, I have to say something. You're bald. Your comb over isn't fooling anyone. You should just cut that thing off and be a decent looking bald guy, because the comb over isn't working." The next time we saw him and it was gone, his long beard was cut shorter, and he was losing weight. It was true. He did look a lot better. Kinda an umbrella, but learn a post-apocalypse skill. That's what I call them in my head. Mine was blacksmithing. I took a blacksmithing course over the summer, and learned a staggering amount about what it takes to take raw materials and turn them into useful tools. I have a background in geology, and metallurgy has always interested me, so it made sense. Seriously, find something low or no tech that makes you feel accomplished. Woodworking. Smithing. Animal husbandry. Archery. Soap making. Beekeeping. Hell, grow some corn. Something to remind you where we've been as a species. I absolutely love this one. I was a Boy Scout for 8 years, and part of what I loved about it so much was the diverse amount of skills I was able to learn. One thing I would still love to learn is blacksmithing. It sounds so fun. Learn a foreign language. It improves the way you think in your own native language and makes you a more dynamic person. I'm a linguistic pattern analyst, certified fluent in 5, and I can say this is legitimately some of the best advice. You will learn so much about a culture from their colloquial dialects and national languages. In prison I knew a white supremacist, big skinhead guy named Kenny. For fun I taught him Spanish, a little each day. We did that every day for about a year together, and by the end of it he could converse with the Mexican nationals and he began to empathize with them. Caused him to see things differently, to recognize them as human beings, just through being able to actually communicate with them. It's surprising how much people have to say, once they truly can communicate. Language is such a beautiful thing, rife with its own rich history, culture and flair. I don't know who I would be if I had never found my love for language. You were in prison? I was. For 3 years. How did you become fluent in 5 languages? That's incredible. Probably by studying instead of being on Reddit. Traveling to another country. It's really great to experience a different culture. And staying at a resort in Cancun is not experiencing another culture. Didn't Sandals have an advert for Jamaica that actually said something like, "You won't even know you're in Jamaica"? Like, what the hell's the point in going then? Doing something kind for a stranger, they may remember it for a lifetime. I think that's an important thing, but I think the most important thing is you can keep that memory to yourself and you can remember for a lifetime. Visit a national park. They're amazing. Enjoy your country's nature, wherever that may be, you know? State parks too. Edit. Holy crap, for a comment that I quickly posted in passing before work this morning, this sure took off. Thanks for the silver, and glad to see all the national park monument forest love. Then get upset at how much people are slobs and assholes. Go watch a movie in a theater by yourself. When you have people with you, even if you both are perfectly quiet and never talk to each other once, there is still a sort of unspoken social obligation between you. Going by yourself is strangely liberating and really aids in enjoyment of the film and experience, in my opinion. Edit. For the record, I'm not bashing going with friends. I love doing that too. I think you can get enjoyment out of either experience. It just boils down to what you as a person want from an evening at the movies. In my late 20s I started going to afternoon movies by myself because I worked nights. I love the mostly empty theaters and the experience of being totally immersed into a film. I watched Dunkirk in IMAX alone. It was the best movie-going experience I've ever had. Dunkirk was the first movie I ever saw solo. No regrets. I saw Joker alone recently as well. Americans should drive cross-country. If you live in a city on the East Coast and haven't traveled by car across the West, you have no idea how beautiful and vast this country is. The East is so congested. Driving across South Dakota from Sioux Falls to Deadwood was the most surreal thing ever to me. And driving through Iowa. Man. I lived in a metro area of Connecticut. Traveling through Iowa, holy cow, I didn't know there could be that much land and corn. In Connecticut, if there's a piece of land, they cut down the trees and build condos or a shopping plaza. Edit, I meant Sioux Falls, not Rapid City. Try Kansas. That's one state you think you'll never get out of. It's flat and seems endless. Dude. I went to Arizona this summer and we left from near Houston at 6 a.m. We dropped minimal times and I fell asleep and it was dinner time and I'm like, where are we? And the driver was like an hour outside of El Paso. We were still in Texas. And at dinner in El Paso. And you think Kansas is big? The sun has risen, the sun has set, and we ain't been through Texas yet. Houston to La. Halfway there and still in Texas. Drove from Los Angeles to Panama City, half the drive was Texas. Solo travel for a few weeks or more. I used to be the type person that would be very dependent on having other people travel with me. Solo traveling, on the other hand, truly is a liberating feeling. You learn many things about yourself and mature. Edit, whoa, this got some attention. Thanks everyone for the feedback. Keep growing and exploring. Much love. Solo travel is fantastic. Booked a ticket to Paris from Dallas in a whim. Met with a Spanish guy at the hostel I'm staying at and he had 2 tickets to the riverboat tour on the Seine. We take the metro and are walking by the Eiffel Tower. See a gigantic cloud of smoke in the sky, hope everyone is okay. Get on the boat and it's a crazy sunset with all the smoke. Look farther down the Seine and we see the Notre Dame on fire. So yeah, I planned on a tour the next day and that never happened. Hung out with him the next 3 days and we go out separate ways. He texts me a couple months later to say what's up and see how everything is. Tells me he got a job working as an intern chef, in a restaurant that had the menu created by Jose Andres. Lo and behold, Hess, like it's in the North Dallas area. I'm like, ooh. What part? Frisco. Ah, dude. You're ducking with me. I walk outside the restaurant I was working at and take a picture of the place. Sorry for the long story, but it's crazy that it all conspired from taking a random flight to Paris. Also, it was fun getting lost in Marseille. My phone died, and I swore I was close to the hostel but I couldn't figure it out. So I stopped at a bar for a pint, charged the phone. I'm right next door to it and the plaza is literally down some stairs from the hostel. You found your soul, dude, congrats. I always love these kind of stories, reminds me how all the dots are connected in a fascinating and unpredictable way. I hope you two have good times together. Stargazing. Really makes you realize how insignificant you are in the larger scheme of things. Hard to stargaze when there is so much light pollution that you can't see the stars. Astronomer here. Check out this dark sky map and see what locations are near you, as you might be pleasantly surprised by what you find. My anecdotal experience is you start to see Milky Way in the light green on the scale of this map, but of course the darker you get the better. Also, double check the moon won't be up when you head out. Probably less than a quarter full is the way to go. Also, don't keep grabbing your phone when out there to look up constellations or whatever, because it takes over 10 minutes for your eyes to adjust to night vision and see things properly, so each time you do that you're screwing it up a little. Have fun. Go hiking, trekking with your friends. Special reason why with friends. I live in the Netherlands where trekking options are minimal, or at least quite boring to me. But I like to do some hiking when on vacation. Usually with my wife, but did the W track in Patagonia once with friends, which was great. Hiking with closely bonded friends is a truly wonderful experience. Spending extended time with people fundamentally different from you. Does school count for that one? Only if you make an effort to actually get to know your classmates. Being in the same room isn't enough.